and welcome back to the Full Scope Comic Podcast, where we have been gone for a week. Life has just been a little rough here lately, so last week was just a blip in the timeline.
Yep, didn't exist.
But as always, Sam is here. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm prepping for Disney next week. I'm going to be here for next week's podcast, if we have one, and then I'm gone for pretty much 2 weeks.
Oh, you're gone for 2 weeks?
Yeah, I'm working 1 week, and then
that's right.
I'll be at the parks another. So
you ready?
Yeah, I think so. I've got dinner reservations some evenings, and just the availability to hang out at the parks.
What is your favorite park you're going to visit?
Ooh. Well, I have a feeling it's going to be Hollywood Studios once I go there. But Magic Kingdom, just the whole layout of it and the different areas.
Yeah.
And Space Mountain, it wins. It wins every time. Futureland. Yeah, so we'll be there on August 7th in Magic Kingdom. And then the next day, the Monsters, Inc. laugh floor opens back up. So
cool.
We've got to go, find a way and do a park hopper and go back before we leave. Because I was like, we have to go see this show. And just introduce her to a comedy show with monsters. Which, sidebar, I've been watching the new Monsters, Inc. show on Disney Plus. Yeah, I've watched, I guess, the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, phenomenal. And Ben Feldman, he does pretty well.
Yeah, is that the Tuskerman?
Yeah,
or Tyler?
Tyler Tuskerman.
Yeah. I like him. I love Fritz. You know who the voice of him is, you know?
Who?
No. It's, oh my gosh, I just lost his name. He was in,
He does this like every episode.
He does. Hey! That guy.
Oh, the Fonz?
The Fonz. He's the Fonz.
Henry
Winkler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in the show. He's Fritz.
No, I love that Mike and Sully are in there and they're moving the universe forward, because I was like, wow, we really haven't had a sequel. But that's just a sidebar. It's a good show.
Oh, yeah, so good. What is your favorite food to get down there? Because you've gone in the past, but
yeah, wow.
What's your favorite place?
I've been cheap in the past, so I haven't really bought a ton.
Well, yeah, with your mom.
Yeah, wow.
I just don't know. Like, what are you looking forward to the most? Just like all the different foods, or one specific place?
No, all the different foods. We're gonna get Dole Whip.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna go anything with the boba beads. We're gonna buy, I'm sure, and yeah, just having the freedom to go to different restaurants and try them out for the first time, because I've only done like quick service stuff before.
Are you going to the dinosaur one that we told you about? T-Rex, at the Disney Springs.
Disney Springs?
Yeah.
We might.
Go there. It is so good. And the vibe in there is awesome.
I think we might go there the Monday night before we go to the park, so.
Okay. Yeah, it's so
fun.
good. Disney Springs is fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like much going on there, but like it's kind of cool to shop in the different areas.
Yeah.
But we will get into the podcast now after that Disney rant.
Yeah.
We could probably talk about Disney for an hour.
We could have a whole special episode. But I don't want to get us too off topic.
All right, so the first piece of news that we have coming up is the DC Flash movie, the set photos that had released a couple days ago. So obviously we got Michael Keaton's Batmobile back.
Yeah.
And there's a rumor about Grant Gustin coming back as well to reprise a role.
I think that would make sense, because
he showed up in
the Crisis of it. Crisis
on Infinite Earth.
Yeah. We had Ezra Miller show up in the Flash show, which I thought was really nice.
Yeah.
And it boosted the quality of the show.
The only CW show I'll ever tune into now. Because it's like, oh, it's a crossover. I guess I'll watch it.
Yeah. No, I've only checked in for the crossovers. But yeah, they've kind of set up a multiverse. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, because we saw time travel happen more in the Snyder Cut than we had seen before. We knew it happened somehow, but we didn't get to really see it.
From the Whedon cut.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to have Barry built up a bit more, I think, before a Flashpoint makes sense for him.
Oh, like kind of the first like 20, 30 minutes of the movie need to be like about Barry kind of thing. Yeah, I think so.
Right now, we don't know a ton about him, and it wouldn't really make sense because he was just brought in for Justice League, and that's the first time we've seen him.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, there's just not a connection.
Yeah.
There. I mean, there's like
there was more of one with the Snyder Cut and his dad and that, but even that, there's if you know his story, it makes sense. Like, oh, his dad's in jail for killing his mom.
Yeah.
Type thing. But
it's kind of like the Peter Parker thing. Like, everyone knows that.
Yeah.
So Uncle Ben dies.
Yeah.
But not everyone knows that the Flash's dad supposedly killed his mom, but he didn't kill his mom, obviously.
I wonder who the Reverse Flash is going to be. That would probably be...
I don't know. The guy that plays the Reverse Flash in the TV show, the CW show, he does a really good job.
Tom Cavanaugh,
Yeah.
He kills it, because he plays every version of
him.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. But... Well, did he? I guess he did.
He didn't play the actual guy.
Yeah. He took his face or whatever.
He played Harrison Wells. Yeah.
Oh,
but
that's the only good part of that show was season 1, season 2.
Now he's gone. So
yeah. But what do you think about the Batmobile and like Michael Keaton coming back? Are you excited for that? Are you kind of like, Because I'm excited.
There's a special place for the 80s superhero stuff, whether it was animated or the live action Batman movies. There's just something so unique about them, and because before we had like the 50s and 60s car of the Batman TV show, it was like very sharp and boxy, and this one was like, wow, streamlined. Batman's like smart and like rocket based.
Yeah.
And of course Tim Burton, his take
wonky.
His take on Batman in that universe. So it'll be interesting to see how that translate. I feel like he's almost going to be like a Vulture like character. Almost like he was in Spider-Man Homecoming. Just like this guy with tech. He's a bit older now, for sure, but still getting business done.
Do you think they'll, like obviously if you haven't read the Flashpoint comic, but I know you know about it, but if you haven't, in the comic, his Batman in the Flashpoint universe is Batman's dad.
Yes.
So, do you think we're going to get that Batman in the movie, or are we just going to get Michael Keaton's Batman and they kind of go through time, or could we get multiple Batman?
No. I lean towards multiple Batman. I think that's what they should do. Because I think, isn't Ben Affleck going to be in it? And then there's
a rumor that he is, but I don't know if it's confirmed or not.
Yeah. Because if that's the case, then you have Michael Keaton, Ben Affleck, and then you could get Jeffrey Dean Morgan to come in as Batman.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure he would be down for.
Oh, yeah. He's a nerd. He's a comic book nerd.
It's funny because I'm trying to think. Jensen plays his son in Supernatural, Jensen Ackles, but I think he plays a Batman in...
he's the animated voice for a new one, I think.
For the Long Halloween, and he played Red Hood before that.
Yeah.
So
that would be interesting.
Yeah.
That would be cool to see him as a Batman. Because he's a good actor.
So, yeah, I hope they go all out and kind of do a bunch of different versions. They're probably looking at Spider-Man and the multiverse that's building on Marvel's side and being like, crud.
We need to get on this.
Yeah, we need to get on multiple versions of these people. We need to get on like variant type situations.
Well, I think that's the DCEU's biggest holdup is that they've had like mediocre films like through the new DCEU from like Man of Steel to the Snyder Cut. Yeah. And it's like it just doesn't click.
Yeah, they're
like
just
it should.
Solo movies, which have been decent for the most part, but that's all they've been. Yeah, is solo movies
and like the continuity with like the Suicide Squad and then like the new Suicide Squad because we don't know what's happening, and then you have Birds of Prey, which I love that movie. Yeah, it was. But where does it like fit in their timeline? Is it after Suicide Squad? Does it not even run with that timeline? I mean, it's just kind of wonky.
Because Suicide Squad comes out in a few weeks, right?
I think it's August 5th, because I think they're releasing it
HBO
early.
Max.
Yeah, they're releasing it early because it's James Gunn's birthday.
Oh man, what a guy!
Yeah, which, I mean, I'm super excited for that movie because it looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, August 5th. That movie's gonna be
so crazy.
Good. It's gonna be like Guardians, but I think
DC characters,
yeah,
and a
but
little
better.
bit more crazy because it's R-rated.
Yes.
King Shark, Sylvester Stallone. That's who I'm looking forward to the most, I think. And we get John Cena as Peacemaker, which
who's
the
got
Peacemaker
a show.
Yeah,
coming out January of next year. So I'm like, James Gunn, if you just want to take the DC universe and run with it and make it happen,
he could be the Kevin Feige of the DC movies. He could be if he wanted to, but I don't think they'll let him because I think Warner Brothers is kind of
they've got a grip on it.
Yeah, they don't. Like, we're going to keep this IP and just run it to the ground.
We're going to bury it.
But, yeah, the Flash movie, I mean, Flash movie's been in development for, like, 20 years now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And they've never, like, I mean, there was, like, the Flash movie that they were supposed to have after the Dark Knight trilogy. And then there was supposed to be a Flash movie, like, post Batman and Robin. So there's been like a Flash movie in development at some point for the last 20 years. So I'm finally give me a good Flash movie.
I can only imagine the effects in those movies.
Oh, God.
if they would have actually happened.
The Batman and Robin effects, gosh. So bad.
No, I think now is probably the perfect time to release with our technology and special effects.
Mm-hmm.
Like even with what they showed in the Justice League, with like him turning his shoes like vaporizing, and it's kind of how the environment reacted. We haven't seen a Flash work like that yet.
Yeah.
So if they can do that and sustain it the whole movie, it could be like Quicksilver type.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that. It'll be different to see like how Marvel does their Marvel before the MCU with Quicksilver, how they did all of his scenes like in slow motion.
Yeah.
And how they'll do Barry scenes, because they're kind of similar, but at the same time not.
Yeah.
Because the DC seem to be a little bit more, like you said, like his shoes exploding and.
Yeah, Quicksilver follows physics for the most part. Like he can overcome some of that.
Yeah.
But Barry can just defy everything.
Yeah.
Go walk through time.
The Speed Force.
Yeah, Speed Force. That's why.
Oh yeah, well I'm excited for the movie. So, the next topic we've got is the Marvel What If voice actor controversy that's happening right now on Twitter and, I mean, all over social media. Yeah. They're getting blasted because they don't have
the official actors.
Yeah, the original actors aren't coming to voice their characters.
It's so tough, and I think this is what the Avengers game ran into. It's like these characters that you know and love, and the Avengers game was doing different versions of them, but
still when you hear Iron Man's voice,
it's so hard.
Like, I want Tony Stark, damn it. I want Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, it's hard when like the MCU has built those characters up to be like, hey, we're gonna go with those characters and those likenesses, but we're doing basically mimicry to try to copy. I mean, I get it, because voice acting for A-list actors could be super expensive,
and voice acting isn't as easy as people think it is.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot that goes into it, and people don't realize like the time and the commitment these voice actors take. I mean, they take their job seriously because that's their job, is voice acting.
Yeah,
and you're not like me and you. We're like sitting in front of each other right now, but when you're voice acting, you're just in a closet or whatever by yourself, or in a studio by yourself with no one to react to. You're just reading like lines off of paper.
Yeah.
So it'd be super hard to, and like the animation has to match up with like your voice, and I mean, it's a lot harder than what people think.
Yep.
And these actors are movie actors, so they have other commitments. Like Brie Larson's probably got something going on, and
the Marvels.
Yeah, with the Marvels and other movies and projects that she's doing, like for Netflix or whatever. And then Chris Evans, I'm sure he was like mid Knives Out when they filmed these, or when they did the voice acting, or like Knives Out 2. I don't know if he's going to be in that or not, but I just those were just some that come to mind when I was like, oh, that
busy. And they probably don't mind missing out.
Yeah. And like Chris Hemsworth obviously is coming back because he was like one of the voice actors that you actually heard during the whole thing, and everyone's giving him shit because he didn't do a good job. I'm like, you literally saw 10 seconds of him saying something.
Yeah.
Like lay off.
Yeah, I'll definitely. One, I don't care enough about the voice acting to get up in arms over it, but I know, like you said, the actors take their craft seriously, and even if they're trying to like mimic someone else, they take that seriously too. Like I know a guy who fills in for Ryan Reynolds. I don't know him, but I know of someone, and like he loves it, and like he just had the chance to meet him, and it was like, wow, like he gets to fill in, yeah. So that was a really cool moment. So I'm sure these people are trying to honor those characters and do what they can. But yeah, Tony Stark definitely sounds more Owen Wilson like than Robert Downey Jr.
That was because it was the first scene. And you're like,
wow, this is my bomb.
Yeah. I think the voice acting will be great no matter what, but people just get that expectation of like, I need it to be Robert Downey Jr. or Benedict Cumberbatch or Brie Larson.
Yeah, I'm there for the story, and if the voice acting's passable, that's good enough for me.
Well, and it's going to be one of those things where you have to watch these shows now because, from what I've heard, they're supposed to somewhat tie into the Marvel Universe, obviously because it's multiverse stuff, but tie in more than what we think. So, and that's another thing. It's a multiverse. So these actors, these voice actors, I mean, they don't have to be the exact same.
Yeah, I was thinking about that and how Into the Spider-Verse did it. It's they made you care about these alternate versions. Like they brought you in, made you care about
Chris Pine.
The original Peter Parker, and then they made you care about Peter B. Parker.
Yeah.
And Miles Morales, and all these different ones. And I think if Marvel can lean into their differences and recognize that they're all you have a Nick Cage Spider-Man, and stuff like that. If they can do that in these what ifs, I think people will have
a good experience.
Yeah, but I think for the first round, I think tying it into the people and characters we know is totally fine and probably the best move.
Yeah, and
then they can go off and do whatever they want, because we got a taste of it in Loki. Even like we saw a bunch of the Lokis, but they weren't our Loki. So we didn't really care about them as much.
Yeah. But I think the acting will be fine, and I think the show is going to be great because it looks great.
Yeah,
I'm super excited for it. Yeah, so many people have like, I don't like the animation. I'm like, if I'm going to watch a cartoon, an animated movie, I'm going to watch something like that, like Into the Spider-Verse. The animation in that was amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that that's what it kind of reminded me of. It put me in the same mindset of Into the Spider-Verse. Not like completely, but it's that kind of same, almost like penciled looking drawings kind of thing. But I'm excited for it.
All right, bouncing off of that topic and conversation, we're going to quickly talk about the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer that we were hoping would release today. Obviously, we're just running off of rumors and no clear pathway of release.
Yeah, we're no scoopers here. We don't get any scoops. We're just two guys that
just
watch Twitter and
read
just all the news.
Two guys chilling. Man, I hope they release it soon and it shows. I don't care if they do what they did with Civil War and show Spider-Man and give away like the big thing.
Like reveal.
Yeah. I'm like, show me Toby and show me Andrew. Like, show me all the Spider-Man and like the new suit. Because I guess we could talk about that even, how like there's the Lego set that showed the new suit, and then there's
the Hot Toys.
Yep. The Hot Toys showed like Doctor Strange augments on Peter's suit, and I'm like, okay, I don't know how this is gonna happen, but
I just want to see a freaking trailer.
Yeah, like I want to see that in action.
And like we kind of discussed before the podcast, I think some of the hang up is COVID.
Yeah.
The new variant, because there's already shutdowns going on like across the world. So maybe they're scared to release it because they don't want to say Spider-Man No Way Home coming December 27th or whatever it's supposed to be,
and take
and
it
then,
back.
Yeah, and then it's delayed another month because of COVID variant, COVID Delta, whatever it's called now. But which sucks. But
I hope this is just a small bump or a big bump right now.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can get over it, and hopefully everyone can get healthy and we can
get back to normal. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'll go see Venom and I'll go see Spider-Man. But other than that, I'm not gonna go out and about unless I have to.
Yeah. Because
that's just my lifestyle, anyways. It's not because of COVID. It's because I like sitting at home.
Yeah, I will. Like when the movie comes out, if it comes out this year, I will definitely go to the movie theater and watch it. But like we watch Black Widow from home.
Which now Josh and I will have to go out together to movies. I don't think we've ever gone out to a premiere before.
No, we haven't.
So
not yet.
We're gonna look forward to that. We might have to record some stuff in line. Actually, lines don't exist anymore. Yeah. Okay. You just said Black Widow, and we haven't talked about it yet.
Yeah. So 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah.
And because obviously we didn't do the podcast last week, so we totally missed it. But Black Widow. What are your thoughts?
I liked it. I thought it was good. And I was going to see it in theaters, and I texted Josh the day of, and I was like, you know what? We're just going to stay home and watch it on Disney Plus, and we absolutely did. I don't know if it took away from the experience or any of that, but man, I just didn't connect with Natasha the whole movie.
Yeah.
I was like, Yelena was awesome, and her family was awesome. But I guess those three characters, and then obviously not Natasha, was where my focus was at. Which is what I expected. And I was like, I don't know how they're going to do this if they try to do any more, like, hey, this character's gone now, but we want to go tell another story with them.
Yeah, I get that. I think the movie, is Civil War came out in 2016, and I think the movie's, 5 years too late. Still added a good piece of them. It still added a lot of depth.
That would have been so good right after Civil War if they released it.
Yeah. Which I guess is the great thing now, is now that, like, since the movie's out, you can watch it in order now.
That'll make it better.
So, I don't know how many times you've rewatched it, or if you've rewatched it at all.
But I remember it all. I liked the general plot of, like, the Red Room still being active, even though she thought it was done.
Well, I was just going to say, I think on my second rewatch, it was better the second time than the first time.
I may have to.
So you might have to do that. Your opinions might change a little bit, because I was like, man, there were so many good scenes that I hadn't even thought about on the first watch. And then rewatching it, I was like, oh, God, like, these are so good.
I don't know if it was choreographed or telegraphed. I don't know if that's a better word. I just felt like I saw, like, so many of the things coming, like, before they happened.
I gotcha.
Type thing.
Yeah.
Like, I knew she was going to break her nose before she even got punched the first time. Because they had made such a big deal about the smell, like even your smell. But I will say the reveal of, like, the mom and her switching places was super good.
Oh man, that had me for a loop too the whole time. Because
I was like, what's going on here?
Like, how the hell? Why, Milena?
Josh obviously liked it more than me. I just wish there was more, I guess, of Black Widow or Natasha, like, fighting or doing other stuff, because pretty much it felt like everything we saw in the trailers was all we got in the movie. Yeah, we saw her fight Taskmaster on the bridge. When she got yeeted off the bridge, that was pretty funny. And then she really only fought on the Red Room, the floating room.
That was really only her major fight with Taskmaster. What did you think of Taskmaster?
I've already talked to Josh about it a little bit. I liked the look, and I liked how, like, dangerous they felt. I didn't like that they were, like, relegated to, like, silent henchmen. I wish they would have built that more. And the reveal that it was the guy's daughter, I was like, I don't even know because like we saw the bomb go off in their faces.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that some super weak bomb that Natasha and Clint just skipped out on? Because Clint obviously thought they were dead too. But
yeah. And that was a part that I never understood. I guess was that part right there because she had to kill him to become an Avenger.
Yeah.
Or a part of S.H.I.E.L.D., right?
Yeah.
I guess I just missed, like, because they didn't really say it. It was a quick scene.
Yeah.
Because you can hear Clint's voice, like,
yeah,
are you on the target? And she's like, yeah, I see the target. Like, collateral damage with a kid and all that.
Yeah. I think, yeah, because that was, what was the place called?
Budapest.
Yeah, Budapest. And it's like, that's what we've been hearing about, but obviously we didn't get a lot of story.
Yeah.
It was like
2 seconds in
it
Budapest.
was like they had to infer that, oh, at some point her and Clint met up and he brought her over and made her want to come to S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Because obviously she wasn't before. It was just psychological manipulation. But yeah, there's actual mind control now, which is...
What did you think of that?
We'll see. I thought the effects of the serum were really cool. I wish they went into more of like how the person developed it in secret.
Yeah.
And it was just a kind of a strange opening past the family sequence with all the widows chasing the one person, and then Yelena getting free, and instantly knowing like, oh crap, like I haven't had free will this whole time. I wish they went into that a little bit more.
Yeah, because, I mean, they didn't really explain the anti-serum, or the anti-whatever, the vaccine, the anti-vaccine, or whatever it's called.
Did they even explain how they did the, like, mind control? They just...
Yeah, it's Milena.
Oh,
she created it because of the pigs.
Oh, yep.
Or she...
Yeah.
Did the...
Gosh, I thought she was going to kill the pig. I was like, give that man a breath.
Oh, Alexei had 11 more seconds before he would have died.
Yeah.
And I love that when he walks, the pig walks in, and she's like, "Good boy, Alexei," and Alexei's like, "You named a pig after me?"
Yes. No, I liked the family dynamic and like the broken family, and then Yelena realizing that she thought they were real the whole time up until that dinner scene, and then after that, and then coming all together and stuff. But at the same point, I was like, Natasha, when we saw her in Endgame, she's like, "Oh, you guys are the only family I've had."
Yeah.
I was like, does something happen between now and Endgame where you're like, your family's gone and done with? Because it felt like they were kind of building.
Yeah, that, and maybe it was like one of those, like, this is the only, like, she says it because Captain America doesn't know, about her Russian family.
Yeah.
But, it's like, it would be out of context to be like, this and my Russian family is the only family I've ever had. But I think it just went better with the story that she was saying, like, this is the only family I've ever had from Avengers, because it's more of like her redemption.
Impactful. Yeah.
But I loved the dinner table scene. That was probably one of my favorite scenes, just because there was like a lot of emotion. It was funny, and then it was sad.
Yes.
And it was like, it broke the ice a little bit between the characters, like when Yelena starts crying.
Yes.
And she's like, I thought this was real. Like, this was my family. You're my mother.
My favorite part of the whole movie, for sure.
Yeah.
Because she brought some of that self-awareness, that, like, even making fun of her pose. Like,
great.
Yeah, makes
great
sense.
Parts.
Yeah. Great. Really funny. And then she ended up doing it anyways.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, that was disgusting.
Yeah, I think we saw her do more action than Black Widow. Because I guess Natasha and her fought, but that was like...
a couple seconds.
Yeah, it felt like a super choreographed... Obviously, they're all choreographed, but it just felt like we knew what the outcome was going to be. No one was going to win type thing.
Like they were playing easy on each other, kind of thing. Like in Civil War when they're fighting one another. It's like you're holding your punches, yeah. I also like the prison scene with Alexei.
Yeah. I will say that was cool.
that whole scene, just the action in it, I loved. From like the where he's arm wrestling and talking about beating up Captain America,
Yeah.
and then Ursa. Which, did you get that reference? Did you hear about that?
I've heard about the mutant.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the Ursa Major, the bear of the Red Guardian team, pretty much. I can't remember what exactly the team name is in the comics, but it's like Red Guardian and the Bear, Ursa Major, and the Crimson Dynamo, which gets brought up in the show too, because she's like
she calls him
that.
Yeah.
And he gets offended.
Yeah, Josh knows this, but I'm super easy to please, so I don't know if it was just like because I watched it for the first time and like it turned out to be what I felt like it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But if I watch it again, I'm probably like it a whole lot more.
I think you will, because you pick up on things too that you obviously, like with any rewatch, you pick up on things that you didn't catch the first time.
Yeah.
But Alexi.
I love David Harbour.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of the movie, I think, just because he's so funny, and his character is like relatable, because it's like obviously he wasn't a real dad.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of dad figures out there, and like, you know when you're wrong kind of thing, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it just resonated with me a little bit more, just because like I'm a dad now, and it's not like, like I said, it's not like a real dad or anything, but you kind of feel more for the character a little bit.
Yeah, even when he gave up the kids in Cuba, like in the beginning, you could tell like there was a part of him that hesitated, and obviously he went to prison right after that, so he's had
time to sit on that.
Yeah,
and he also had
the
tattoo
of their name. Yep. So I think he definitely saw himself as their dad, but he wanted to redeem himself, and I mean, gosh, if anything was knocked out of the park in the movie, it was like his internal monologue being like moved to the external, and kind of showing that. And Elena, they did that well with her too, that like these thoughts that the characters should have, they made sure the audience knew they were having them and vocalized them. And
I think the cast all around did a great job, and even Scarlett Johansson did an amazing job, but it was just a very like clicked. They all clicked. Like, all the actors really clicked together. Like, the whole family dynamic, and, like, even the Dracoff. Like, whenever Natasha has the scenes with him, you really feel, like, the intensity of that scene.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, the acting in that room was really well done, because it was like a force field was put in front of them that she couldn't, like, penetrate through.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the pheromones or whatever that she smell.
That blew me for a loop at first, because I'm like, is she doing this on purpose? Because she feels guilt. I thought it was because she was feeling guilty about supposedly killing the daughter.
Yeah. So
the whole time, that's what I'm thinking. And then I'm like, well, that's not right, because she obviously knows that I can't remember actually if she knew at that point yet, but at the same time, I was like, there's some like remorse happening in her, like internally, and then it's like, oh, you learn about the pheromone after that. I'm like, fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know, but they did that so well, because she knew the whole time about it.
But she sold it.
Yeah.
So perfectly.
Yeah. I will say that was super good. And even
when he hit her the first time, I was like, holy crap, like,
she wanted
to the floor.
She wanted to get messed up. One of the things I did enjoy was she knew Taskmaster was going to come after her, and it was almost like
in the end?
a slasher film for a second. It was like, oh, the killer's got the target, so Taskmaster chased her and, like, dove through the air to get her, and she used that to survive the fall, which that sequence was really cool. Yeah. That was probably my favorite of the whole film.
Oh, the falling through the whole time? Yeah.
Yep.
That was really interesting. Where they take the blade and slow down on that like solar panel looking thing.
Yep, exactly. That exact part. I was like, I don't care if it was 5 seconds long. That's all I needed. Yeah.
So all in all, I can't rank this movie yet, because I need to watch it again before I like put it in my MCU rankings list.
I think it's probably 7 out of 10.
Oh no, I'm talking about like
out of all
of them. Yeah,
there's too many. There's too many.
Oh, I'm working on the list right now, but I couldn't rank it. I'd have to watch it a couple more times, and I think I need to watch it in like the sequential order where it goes
chronological.
Yeah, like you go Civil War and then Black Widow and then Black Panther and
then Infinity War.
Yeah.
Yep. That'll be good.
Yeah. So I'm definitely gonna be doing that, but all right. Last topic. Loki season finale. What did you think, and what do you think the future will be?
All right.
Let's hear your thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts first. So I'll let you talk for a minute.
So when Miss Minutes popped up, I was like, "Crap! Josh was right. There's no way." And then she was just basically just like a assistant. And then when Jonathan Majors like just appeared in the door, I was like, "Is that him?" I was like, "I think that's the guy who's gonna play Kang." And Ant-Man. In the Wasp Quantumania, and I was like, what? I was like, okay. And then he has like a different demeanor and started acting differently.
It's very like I've seen it everywhere, but when I was watching it, I was like, this is like Willy Wonka crazy kind of acting. Like, he's a dick, but a funny dick kind of thing.
Yeah, and he's like, he just knows.
Yeah.
But I love that the episode was just like exposition. Like, I didn't care that nothing really happened. Mm-hmm. But it's basically saying, hey, the multiverse is happening and it's branching off and we don't know what's going to happen after this. And I thought that was super cool. And I know Sylvie, that was kind of strange to me. I was like, I know they went in angry and wanted to find out who and like stop them. Mm-hmm. But then they were presented with like 2 or even 3 like very reasonable options. And she's like, no.
Yeah, maybe it's just because I grew to like the character a lot, and I didn't want her to see, like, I mean, I'm like Loki and Sylvie, like, strong at this point.
Loki, Sylvie, strong.
So I'm cheering for them, but her idea of just being like, nope, I've lived an entire lifetime of running my whole life, like, fuck you, I'm gonna kill this guy.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I've seen this meme that's like, just basically saying like, oh, you want the multiverse to happen? And Loki's like, yeah, I guess so. And she's like, okay, kill him, type thing. Because as bad as it is, it's like, it's what had happened. I don't necessarily remember why or how he was like keeping the other Kangs, with the other variants at bay.
The other Kang variants?
Yeah.
Because he won the multiversal war because of Goliath.
Oh.
Because he was able to channel Goliath's power, or something like that.
And
something along those lines.
Okay.
And he hid outside of time through Goliath.
Okay, yeah, I was basically just trying to remember why they still weren't trying to invade. So basically, it's saying with him and Goliath like roaming free now that anyone can come and take over.
And I think it was because obviously, what do we call him? He Who Remains.
Yes.
Since he since he found Goliath, and now that he's dead, like, I think that whole timeline of Goliath existing and He Who Remains, it kind of just gets wiped away. So I think it's one of those things. And then like another Kang goes back in time and defeats He Who Remains, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, he did say he'll be back, so he knows somehow, like.
Yeah, but he said, see you soon. But is that him, or is that going to be a variant?
I mean, in a way, it's not going to be him.
Yeah.
It's going to be a variant that either was him or, like, was like him.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more excited than anything, and we've got the confirmation for season 2.
Absolutely.
So I talked to Josh about this. I was like, I hope they show, like, the King Loki that we saw in, like, the trailers beforehand that we haven't seen. And I don't know if that was because of COVID and scheduling or anything like that. But I'm like, more Loki. It was like the MCU's Doctor Who in a way, with how they handled time travel and just kind of like...
that's a good example. Like, that's
wonkiness.
A good example of it.
Yeah. But yeah, I absolutely loved the whole episode. I love Jonathan Majors. And
I'm curious to see Because I think obviously the next Kang we get, like an actual Kang, he's gonna be more ruthless.
Yes.
And where this one was like Willy Wonka, crazy, like, because he's been around for eternity.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of losing his mind. So I'm curious to see like what a dick version of him is gonna be like,
Yes.
or if he's gonna play it like obviously he's a dick, but is he gonna be a funny dick, or is he just gonna be a dick?
Yeah. Thanos was like a calm ruler. He just like knew he was better than everyone. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see.
He was on a path.
Yeah.
He's like, this is what I'm gonna do, and this is how I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
No one's gonna stand in my way.
Yep.
Where Kang is, I mean, we haven't seen anything from him, but he's gonna be a little bit more. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how his powers are displayed. Because Thanos pretty much had like brute strength and survivability, and then he had the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
But what Kang's powers will look like?
Because he's just, technically he's just a guy.
Yeah. But with like a battle suit, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And this could open up, what was it, Iron Lad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could get that. There's a lot of like Young Avengers rumors that I've seen swirling around since this, and a lot of it too is Reed Richards going to be like a black guy, because technically Kang's real name is Nathaniel Richards.
Yeah.
He's a descendant of Reed Richards.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole thing is like, who cares at this point?
But John Krasinski.
John Krasinski, yeah. But I'm like, it doesn't bother me. Like, it really bothers some people that he's a black guy. I'm like, who cares? Did you not watch the season finale of Loki? Like, that was freaking amazing.
Yeah,
I can't imagine what it's gonna be like when he's more of a conqueror.
Yeah.
Than anything.
Yeah, we hear about good stories, good effects.
Yeah. Have you watched Lovecraft Country on HBO?
No. Nope. Josh told me to, and I still haven't.
It's really good, and I kind of think that might be like he's a little bit more. He's nothing like he was in Loki. He's a little bit more of like a straight narrow kind of like no bullshit guy. So I think we're gonna get like a taste of that, and that's the only other thing I've seen him in. But he's pretty good in that show. But I'm excited for season 2. I'm excited that Owen Wilson's still around, because I love him.
But now we have variants of the variants, because it ended in
an alternate time, or an alternate TVA.
Yeah, Mobius didn't know who he was.
Yeah, blew my mind.
I know,
because he's like,
are you an analyst? Like, I was like, what?
Yeah, at first I was like, he's just pulling his, like, and he's technically, I guess he still could be pulling the strings, or, making him think that, but
now they've got the Kang statue.
Yeah. Cliffhangers.
I know, the suckers.
Yeah.
I
don't even know when
6 episodes.
I don't know when we're getting season 2 of Loki.
I know, that's probably my biggest thing, is we don't know when we're gonna get payoff from all these shows that have like built up. Like Scarlet Witch is now Scarlet Witch, and we built her up, and she's got the Darkhold, and we've got a new Captain America, and we've got Loki in a different dimension. Mm-hmm. It's like, when are we gonna see these payoffs happen?
Yeah.
Because basically, every show so far has ended with like
a cliffhanger.
Yeah, like you get a sort of payoff in like their comic selves coming to true form, basically. But then past that, like, they're not interacting with anyone else, or not bringing anyone else in. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, I guess the only one that really didn't end on a cliffhanger was Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that was pretty. I mean
it
U.S. Agent was getting recruited just like Elena was getting recruited.
But it wasn't like the main character.
No.
Like, it was, they left him on like a high note of like back in Louisiana, like having a party.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, because he's the new Captain America. But yes, the U.S. Agent, like, plot is going to be interesting. And that's another thing about Black Widow, like post-credit scene.
Yeah. She's going to be in the Hawkeye show, which I guess we haven't talked about that. I'm like, surely she's going to realize that Clint didn't want her to die either.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that road's going to last 5 minutes.
Yeah, when I showed the picture, I'm like, you gotta kill, this is your next target.
I was like, you can't be that dumb.
Yeah.
But she might be, I don't know.
that was her sister, so she could just be super headstrong about, like, I don't care if it was a sacrifice or not, like, that was my only sister, like, you're gonna die.
Well, she should blame Natasha because Clint was trying to jump off and be macho about it. But whatever.
Yeah. But with Loki, though, things I'm looking forward to the most, obviously the returns of Owen Wilson coming back. Renslayer.
Oh, yeah.
Where'd she go? She just left in a little portal door and was gone. So is she with Kang, the new TVA of that timeline? Or, I mean, what is she doing? Mm-hmm. Who knows? But that's another...
is she normally bad?
I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about her. I know that she and Kang dated.
Mm.
And that was, like, the big theory, too, that was, like, that she knew it was Kang the whole time. Like, before we knew, like, the Timekeepers were bullcrap.
Yeah. There
was a theory that she knew that they were bullcrap and that she was actually talking to Kang the Conqueror the whole time, so...
Mm-hmm.
Well, or that he was I think another theory was that he was a TVA agent that got pruned and, like, she loved him, and then he obviously turned into He Who Remains kind of thing. So that was one of the theories I had seen, but, like, we don't know where she went or why she went to this specific spot. Like, because she's downloading those files from Miss Minutes.
Yeah, she's obviously trying to get to the bottom of something, but she's doing it in such a crappy... She's still, like, antagonistic towards...
Mobius.
Yeah, towards all the good people
yeah.
who also want to figure out what's happening and
mm-hmm.
stuff. But she's just kind of insistent on the TVA running as it has, but obviously she left, so...
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
Also, another character I'm looking forward to seeing is the Agent B-15.
The Hunter?
Yeah, the Hunter B-15.
Oh, because, yeah, she
was with Mobius there at the end.
And she started trying to show people that Renslayer was just like a principal in
mm-hmm.
her original life. So I feel like the TVA is going to be self-aware the next time we see him.
Yeah.
But maybe not self-aware that they're in a different timeline. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But, I mean, that
so
could be
many
cool.
theories.
You could have, like, infinite TVAs working together type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
did you... I don't know if you had seen it, but obviously the Loki assembled thing came out on not Netflix, on Disney Plus, and one of the scenes that got cut from the show was Rocket Raccoon.
What
was in with, like, the big queue line before they go into the judge
hilarious
thing. He was in there with a bunch of Ravagers. And it was cut from the show, obviously, but, like, what kind of rocket would that have been? Because that's probably not the rocket that we know and love.
Yeah.
Could have been
almost like
it could have been like a super sweet rocket that, like, cries because he doesn't want to be pruned or whatever, or it could be like a super dick rocket.
I feel like it's going to be like the Black Panther that turns into a Ravager and, like, the What If that we see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it could be something like that where Rocket was just picked up and becomes, like, the Star-Lord type thing.
Oh, man. What If? I cannot wait for that show.
He's got a poster in here and he's looking at.
Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, look at Captain Britain. She looks amazing. But I think we will end the show on a high note with What If and Loki. Ah, such a good show. Tom Hiddleston just killed it.
Yeah, he's like, I'll play Loki for the rest of my life. And I was like, you may have to.
I'm all for actors that are 100% committed to this role.
Yeah.
It's like Chris Pratt. He loves playing Star-Lord.
Star Wars.
He loves playing Star-Lord. And I'm just like, if he wants to do it for, like, 20 more years...
Yeah, we need a new Hugh Jackman, a new Logan,
mm-hmm.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
We need someone like that that's going to stay around for 20 years and play him, like, every iteration
It could be Hugh Jackman from all the theories coming out about that.
What if he shows up in Spider-Man?
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Because I know Tom Holland, I know we're supposed to end, but I know Tom Holland said in an interview, like, there's a moment in the movie that you'll know is, like, the best moment of my career. And obviously it's going to be, like, him working with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh.
who that could be?
Well, okay. So something kind of lines up. That picture of him and Kevin Feige like a week ago or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing Spider-Man No Way Home reshoots like right now.
Ooh. So if they want to add him in.
Because that was another thing. I don't know if you saw this. We're getting like rambling on right now, but this was crazy. Charlie Cox canceled a con.
I saw that
because of like conflicting
theorizing.
issues.
Yeah.
So does that mean he's going back for reshoots for Spider-Man No Way Home?
Let's get the Defenders in there. And
like, give me Charlie Cox Daredevil in the MCU canon, not the Netflix show. Charlie Cox as Daredevil in the MCU. Give that to me.
And that's our dream. And hopefully we'll know more next week.
Yes. All right. If you guys love the show, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Also, leave a comment down below for any theories and thoughts that you have on anything we've talked about today. And we will catch you guys next week. Sam, only one more week for you, and then he'll be MIA. And I'm either going to do the podcast on my own, or I may have a guest on. So I will find out.
Special guest, Grayson, babbling.
Oh, God. He can go on for hours.
Yep. Well, we'll see you guys next week.
All right.